What we found here is a beech tree, and you can always tell it's a beech tree because the bud looks exactly like a cigar, and it's really one of the only buds that looks like that. And the leaves are opposite, simple, and they have these teeth on it, which kind of resembles an elm leaf. And these leaves do stay on the tree for most of the winter. It's really the only tree that the leaves stay on. They turn that nice golden brown. And the bark of this tree is a very, very steel gray. And it's really the only tree that looks like this. And the beech tree is pretty common, so you will see it about everywhere. And that's the beech tree.
So what we have growing here is a little patch of wild strawberries. And wild strawberries are great for, you know, snacking on if you find them in the forest and they're in bloom. In spring when they bloom, they get little white flowers before the berry grows. The berry has the seeds on the outside, which is a unique characteristic of strawberries. Also, back in ancient times, the red berry was used for a kind of dye in clothing and things like that. And that is the wild strawberry. Also in the vine family, it grows in a vine-like way, can be considered a vine.
What we found today is witch hazel. And witch hazel is one of those tree shrub deals. It gets about 12 feet high. And witch hazel, as you can see, it blooms this yellow flower in about fall. And I'm pretty sure the yellow flower means it is male, and the red flower is a female. And the bark on this tree is pretty shiny. It's reddish grayish, as you can see there. The bark tends to twist a lot. It's real groovy looking. And the seeds actually on this witch hazel are green in the beginning of the year, but they turn this brown, and when the seeds are ready, they actually just shoot out as far as like 30 feet. It's a real nice little explosion. And the witch hazel has been used since ancient times for all sorts of things, beauty products, astringents, and actually it was one of the first gunpowders that was ever invented, because burning this wood with charcoal and a couple other things like sulfur actually made gunpowder. It's pretty wicked. And this witch hazel tree, of course, its name's witch hazel, has been invested in magic since the beginning of times. People thought it would protect them from serpents, from lightning, all kinds of stuff. But the nuts do apparently reduce toothache if you just, you know, carry them in your mouth and stuff, chew on them. It's a pretty neat plant, and that's the witch hazel. Sometimes you will find adventure foxes, and adventure foxes will always make noise, crunching the leaves, and follow you around, sniffing everything.
That's the adventure fox.
Little adventure fox.
Goes with you everywhere you go. And what we found here are just some popper flowers that pop open and the seeds are inside. So we picked them off of the mother plant. What we're going to do is we're going to plant them and bury them just a little bit in the ground so they can't get eaten by wildlife, and hope that they make it. And then we can film it for you next spring and see how they do. You can just, you know, kind of shove it in the dirt a little so animals can't get to it. Cover it up with leaves. And we'll check on that baby next spring. Poppers, one left to plant. Alright, and what we found here, it's an overgrown rose bush, and that turns into a fall harvest of rose hips. If you're ever worried if it's a rose bush or not, you can just check the thorns. They all have the downturned thorn like this. And It's one of those great finds in the woods. The rose hips are good for vitamin C, and you can harvest that and, you know, eat the berries. Get your daily dose. That's the rose bush.
And right here we found a shaggy bark cap mushroom, and it's actually a very delicious mushroom, and you can always tell it's the shaggy bark because this actually is quite shaggy when it's not about to die. And if you see down there, it has that ring around the end of the stalk right there. Yeah, that's a better example of like the shagginess and that nice ring. But only one other mushroom looks like it, and it's not poisonous in any way either. But the only thing you have to worry about shaggy bark is if you are eating it, do not drink alcohol because it will make you sick. That's a neat little mushroom.